Hi, my name is Matthew Kenslow. From preschool onward, I remember every single one of my teachers, and they all left some impact on me. But a few of them left a greater impact, to which it's hard to choose. But if I were to choose one, it would be Mr. John Daniel, who taught me 11th grade U.S. history and geography, and a semester of 12th grade government. I first met Mr. Daniel on Tuesday, September 6, 2011, the first day of class, and I went up and introduced myself. I'm Matthew, and I'll be in your class in third period, and he was happy to meet me. And he and I both share the same passion of United States history, geography, and the presidents. And I really enjoyed his class, and I learned a lot from him, including life virtues such as humility and humbleness and patience and such. Of all the stories I could tell, I have one that really stood out to me. At the time, he had a second grade son, and he was assigned a president's project. Now previously, in September 2011, I determined that I want to become a teacher, and I was set on it, and I told frankly everybody. And he knew that, and he knew my love of the United States presidents, that I could rattle them off by memory, by number, and all that. And he wanted to give me the opportunity to teach his son. I would write something up for him, and he would give it to his son to base it off of. And he said, you know, as a history teacher, I'm very tempted to help out my own son, but I wanted you to have the opportunity. And so the president was Theodore Roosevelt. I read a chapter about Theodore Roosevelt, and I put something together, did some research, put down what I knew, and I submitted it. I emailed it to him one morning, and it wasn't just the email, but I also said that I learned in the process, and that, you know what, Theodore Roosevelt is now one of my favorite presidents. And I submitted it to him, and his son got a 100% A+. But Mr. Daniel replied to that email saying, please see me, I want to talk to you. So I went up to his class, and I asked if he wanted to see me, and he said yes. Remember when you said that you learned in the process and all this? And I said yes. He said, well, you just learned the most valuable lesson of teaching, that you learned in the process. Teachers are always learning. We don't know everything at the start, and we're still learning even years into it. So good job that you caught that. And I would never forget the time when he passed the torch to me, and likewise I would pass that torch to all of my future students as well. I saw him a couple of years after I graduated, and I went up to him, and he remembered me, and I told him that I'm writing a book, a fictional book, more of an allegory, and I asked him if it's okay if I could make a parallel story similar to what happened in his class, where the main character learns in the process and the teacher commends him. And he said, oh, that's fantastic that you're writing a book. That's very great, and of course you could use it. So something I remember of Mr. Daniel is he was very supportive and encouraging to not just me, but a lot of students. A few months after this, on October 19th, 2015, I came home from OCC, and I went on Facebook. And on Facebook there's a post from one of my friends from school and from youth group, and he made a post saying that Mr. Daniel, teacher of Newport Harbor High School, had just died. Had just passed away, and I was taken off guard. I was shocked. I couldn't believe that it happened. And I did the research. I had no idea that he was fighting these health issues, and he was relatively young. And he left such an impact on not just me, but obviously the student, this friend of mine, and everybody else. And I would never forget the legacy that he left me and other students, and likewise I will pass the torch on to my future students. So for this scholarship opportunity, I'm giving a tribute to Mr. Daniel of Newport Harbor High School. Thank you for watching.